All right, here we can see the UTM-9 dashboard, and we can see here that I have a full suite of protection subscriptions, including Sophos Sandstorm. And also on the dashboard, we can see under today's threat status that Sandstorm has already blocked 4 malicious items, thanks to some testing that I've been doing here. Now, if we go under Advanced Protection, we'll see where the Sophos Sandstorm features live. And the first thing you see is a dashboard-like view of Sophos Sandstorm activity over the last 24 hours, which shows the number of files that it's seen through web and through email, and the results of each of those, as well as the average analysis time. Now, if you click here on the Sophos Sandstorm menu option, the first thing you'll see is a tab that explains how the feature works and the benefits of it. And if you click on the Sandbox Activity tab, you'll see a full history of all of the files that Sophos Sandstorm has processed and analyzed for your UTM. And in this case, you can see I've had a number of Excel files that I've tried to download, as well as a number of PDFs. I can see the user that tried to download these, in this case it was always me, where they came from, and the status results of each of those downloads. And if I click on one of these, I can get a full report that shows me more information about the user that downloaded it, the URL that it came from, the date and time it was downloaded, more information about the file type, and the results of the sandbox analysis, including any threat information should it be considered to be malicious. So that's really how you can get an insight into what's going on with Sophos Sandstorm. What about turning it on? Well, as I mentioned, you need either web protection or email protection in order to enable Sophos Sandstorm, and I'll show you how to turn on Sophos Sandstorm in both of those. For web, Sophos Sandstorm analysis can be attached to any web policy. So you simply go to your policy screen. Here I've only got a simple single base policy. And if I go and configure that on the antivirus tab, there's a simple checkbox to refer suspicious items to Sophos Sandstorm. It's really that simple. It's as easy as checking a single box. And now any files downloaded via the web will be analyzed by Sophos Sandstorm. Email, it's just as simple. Under the SMTP area, if I go to my malware options, I can see here there's a simple checkbox to simply enable Sandstorm. So again, any suspicious email attachments that might be processed through the UTM will automatically be sent to Sophos Sandstorm for further analysis. Now let's have a look at the user experience. So here I'm going to switch over to a website. Here I've got sophostest.com open, and there's a couple of Sophos Sandstorm test files here, the first one of which I know is malicious. So as soon as I click on that, it doesn't need to process this file because the hash is already known by the Sophos Sandstorm solution, so it can render a decision immediately, saying the item you have requested is infected by a virus, it cannot be downloaded, so there's no need to analyze that file further or send it to the cloud sandbox. We've seen this file before, it is malicious, a decision can be rendered immediately, so the user doesn't have to wait at all for this result. Now, of course, that file was blocked. Now let's have a look at a file that the UTM and Sophos Sandstorm have not seen before. So here I've got a file that I've hosted on a HTTP hosting site called tinyupload.com. It's an Excel worksheet with a macro in it. I'm going to try and download that file now, and we'll see what happens. So as soon as the UTM sees it, it realizes that the requested file contains suspicious content, and it informs me that it has been sent for further analysis by Sophos Sandstorm. To see the results, I simply click here. And now we're on the patients page where I need to wait until my file is analyzed in depth for malicious behavior by the sandbox in the cloud. This can take anywhere from 2 to 7 minutes, so we'll get back to you when things have changed. All right, after a few minutes, the sandbox analysis is complete, and Sophos Sandstorm informs me that this file is not considered malicious, so my download will now continue, and you saw that file pop into my downloads folder. So that's a quick look at Sophos Sandstorm from both the admin and the user perspective.